Okay. We have another project here for you. Now, first off, I do have to explain that I have Miss Herring's class here with us. Everybody wave. Wave. Say hello. All right, so what we're doing today, as you can see, are snowmen. First off, what we're going to do is have a regular snowman made out of cardboard, a white cardboard sheet of paper, and we're going to use our markers here to decorate that snowman. Now, most often when people decide to color with markers, they treat them like crayons, and they do this number to them. Yada 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 yada. And that is not how we color with markers. What we want to do is to turn the marker on its side, that flat part, and we want to treat this marker as though we're cutting the grass. Hence the lawnmower technique. Let me show you how it works. You start on one section, turning the marker over, and you go all the way up, and you turn back around and come all the way back down. And then you go all the way up, and then you turn back around and go all the way back down. You go all the way up, and you, top came off, and turn around and go all the way back down. And you completely color in the section for which you're working on. Now, I didn't color in the whole thing, but you can definitely see a difference between the scribble scratch coloring and the lawnmower technique. And the lawnmower technique is what I would like for you guys, everybody here, to use when they're coloring their snowman. Now, the only other thing that I didn't say is what you're supposed to do before you even get started, which is what, class? And your teacher's name. Excellent. Now we're gonna use what we've learned about texture and about rubbing with crayons, and we're gonna add to that. We've already done a texture rubbing where we used leaves, where the little plates featured leaves. Now we're gonna do a texture rubbing. I don't know, can you see that? What does that look like to you? A gingerbread man. Yes, it does, with candy surrounding him. I have another one here. What does that look like to you? Oh, could that be? Is that Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer? I don't know. And what about this one? What does that look like? A wreath that says Happy Holidays. Can you see that? Okay, yes. Have you noticed the theme? Of course. Christmas. Of course. Happy Holidays. Whatever you celebrate during this time of year, that's what we're going to work on. Okay? That's what we're going to work on. So here's the deal. We all have our supplies here. We have our rubbing crayons. We're going to use just black this time. We have our little clips that we use to hold the rubbing plates in one spot. We have our pencils, and we have markers. And this is what we're going to add to it. We're going to add, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's markers in this tub without tops on them. I don't know why they don't have tops, because if they don't have tops, they will dry out. Please make sure, guys, that when you're using the markers, you take the tops off, of course, you use the markers, and then you put the tops back on. And let's see, can you hear this? Can you hear this click? Did you hear that? That's what should happen to make sure that the markers don't dry out. Please, please, please. Okay, so let's get back to the art project. First off, you're gonna have yourself a sheet, have yourself a sheet of paper here. It's a really long rectangle, really long. You're gonna take and write your name first. Did you hear me when I said first? You write your name on your paper first. After that, you're going to fold it in half, just like this. And you're going to notice that I've actually cut the paper so that it is the exact same size as the rubbing plate. It's going to make it easier for you because now all you have to do is slide that rubbing plate in. You know we've done this before with the leaves. You slide the rubbing plate in and you're going to grab yourself a clip. You want to make sure, like last time, you clip it in a spot that won't interfere with the rubbing plate. That seems like a really good spot. It won't mess with the happy holidays that's on that rubbing plate. Alright, now that you have everything together, you grab yourself a black crayon and you rub on the side like we did before, and the happy holidays comes through like magic. Now you don't have to rub hard just like we did before. You rub it very fast, very quickly, and you have the whole thing done just that fast. Wasn't that easy? Alright, now if you wanted to, you have another side with nothing on it. If you wanted to, you can grab a second one, put on that side, go ahead and clip it down, get that black crayon again, and I guess I'll do Rudolph on this side here. Very fast, very quick, and there you go. Now you're going to go ahead and color these. Now you have two, see that? You have two. Haha. You're going to go ahead and color these with the markers, but we're going to use a different technique for coloring with markers. Lots of times I've noticed that when students color with markers, they use them like they're crayons. And basically, let's use this for scrap paper on the inside. Basically, they do one of these numbers. Oh my goodness, this one that's dried out. Let me find another one right quick. And here we go. Now you can probably see this a little better. But they color like this. And you're coloring like with a crayon. I mean, and this is not a crayon, but you're using this like a crayon. This is not how we color. What I want you guys to do is I want you to use a technique called the Lawnmower Technique. So here how it goes. You have a section that you want to color. Let's say this is the section you want to color. What I need for you to do is you're going to turn the marker, not so you're using the tip. You're going to turn the marker so that you're using the flat part, the broad side of the point. And you see how big of a stroke that made is really wide. That's what you want to do, and that's what you want to use when you're coloring with the marker. And notice how I go all the way down and I turn back around and come all the way back up. It's almost like I am cutting the grass, hence the Lawnmower Technique. And that's why it's called that, because it's like I'm cutting the grass. Now you see this little part over here that I missed? That's when you can get the tip and you can go back over that little part with the tip of the marker. Just get those little bit of areas, okay? Now you can notice, I want you to look at this. See how really messy that looks? And you see how really neat that looks? That's what I want you guys to do. I want you to use the Lawnmower Technique to color in your holiday rubbing plate design. I have one that I've already completed entirely using the Lawnmower Technique. Now doesn't that look really neat? It looked very neat, not the scribble scrabble that you would normally see, but it looks very, very neat. So once you finish the one side, you can turn it over and do the other side, and after that you're done, guys. Okay guys, part 2 to this particular assignment. Now I know you see two things here. Some classes did the snowman and some classes did the holiday rubbing plates. Okay, now what I didn't tell you in the video is that these are going to be used at Food Giant grocery store, and they are going to be displayed during the Christmas holidays right after actually right after Thanksgiving. He's going to start hanging them up, so you will be able to see your artwork as Christmas decoration displayed in Food Giant grocery store here in Pinson. Okay, so to finish these up, what we're going to have to do, if you've done the snowman, all you need to do is turn him over. You're going to get some glue, put a little bit across the top, put a few drops over here, put a few drops at the bottom, you put a little bit in the middle. The thing is, we don't need very much glue. We don't need very much, and we're going to try our best to get this snowman in the very center of the paper. Now I do have red you can choose from if you want, and I do have green you can choose from if you want, so you can choose either one. I thought since he has on a green shirt that he would, well, green vest or jacket or suit coat or whatever you would call that, I thought it would look good on a yellow background. Did I just say yellow? No! So that now that it's glued down, you will also find these little paper, well, hole punch things. Now what I want you to do with those, let's see if we can look at this really carefully. I want this to slide in here in the corner. You see how it goes? Slide in there in the corner, and I want you to punch a hole on this side and then take it back out. See that? And I want you to punch a hole in this side. Okay, and then take it back out. Now you're putting those holes in there so that it'll be easy for Food Giant to hang them. Okay, and that's it. That's all you do if you've done the snowman. Let's say you've done this one. Well, if you have, you know you have two of them. Yeah, because we did two rubbings. So you will first have to get a pair of scissors to cut it apart like this, right along the fold. Do your best job. Make sure you get it as straight as you can get it, just like that. And then you have to choose which one you want to go to Food Giant. I think we'll choose this one. The green looks really good. Looks like a really good background for this particular one. All right, now we get the glue. Let's twist it up a little bit. Get a little bit on the corners, a little bit on the corners. You don't need very much, and gets a little bit in the middle. We're going to go ahead, put this together like that. Make sure it's as in the middle as you can get it. All right, you got that? Make sure it's in the middle. Now Mr. P is going to trim it off. Okay, now this is one that's all nice and trimmed. Then I'm going to hand it back to you so you can grab the hole punch. Now let's see if we can get this. Now it fits in there a certain way. You don't supposed to get it in like in that little curved part right there. That little curved part is not where it goes. You don't want it in there. You want to get it in this little, let's see if we can get it in there really close so you can see. You want it in that section. You see that? You want to put it right in that section, and you want to put a hole right there. And you punch the hole, and you're done. That is how it should look when it goes to Food Giant. That's pretty much it for part 2 of this particular lesson. I want you now to go and have fun.